Hey guys, okay, so today I'm gonna do a makeup tutorial and I'm gonna use some of the products that I talked about in my haul video that I recently picked up. And the star of the show is gonna be this Marc Jacobs palette that I talked about. Sorry, this glare is so intense. It's called the Object of Desire Face and Eye Palette, and I picked this up a couple of weeks ago. I've been eyeing it for a while and I decided to pick it up with my 20% off the customer appreciation event at Sephora. And then it's funny because one of my favorite beauty vloggers, which is Tati with Glam Life Guru, talked about this being a product that she regrets purchasing. So I thought it was funny that, you know, that I love it and she doesn't. So I thought I'd play with it. I mean, there are some things about this palette that I will share with you guys on my thoughts, the pros and cons and all of that. So let's just go ahead and get started with the tutorial. Okay, so I don't have anything on my face right now. I have lash extensions, so no mascara, but I have lash extensions. So for foundation, I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever HD Ultra Stick Foundation. It's been a long time since I've used this foundation in a video, and I'm really loving it this time of year when it's a little bit more dry outside and my skin needs something a little bit more hydrating. I find that this is a really great foundation for that. And I'm gonna use the Tarte Big Foundation Buffer Brush to just buff this into my skin. This foundation has a lot of coverage and a lot of pigment, so a little bit goes a long way. You don't really need a lot of it. The finish on it is pretty natural. It's not a matte finish, but it's not really like dewy or glowy at all. It just has a really nice, like supple, healthy finish. So your skin just looks hydrated. It just looks like your skin with a lot of hydration. You guys, I apologize if my camera is just going in and out of focus. My husband set me up right before he left the house, and then I somehow bumped the camera and it went out of focus, and then now I have it on autofocus, and my autofocus is not the best. So if it goes in and out of focus, that is why. My apologies. I actually want to upgrade my camera soon, and hopefully it will help with that. But for now, just bear with me. Okay, for concealer, I'm going to use the new NARS. Well, it's not a new product, but it's a new color. This is the Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Macadamia. I just picked this up recently. I saw that it was a new shade. It was right in between custard and ginger, which are the two that are real popular, and custard I feel like can be a little bit too light and ginger can be a little too peachy for me, so I wanted to give this a try. This is my first time using it, so I don't really have any opinions yet of this shade. It's definitely more peach than custard, that is for sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this or not. Right now it looks a little too orange. I kind of wish that it was a little bit brighter for me. But let's blend it out and see what it looks like. I'm gonna put my hair back. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, thankfully, because my roots, you can tell they're growing out. They're so dark. And I can't wait. I think I'm going to cut it too. I think I'm going to cut it shorter. Like 4 days ago when I booked the appointment, I was like set. I was going to cut it off. And then I've gone back and forth over the last 4 days. So it really kind of depends on what I'm feeling like tomorrow morning when I get to my hairstylist. It's funny. There's been times where I'm like, I want to cut it short. And then she's like grabs the scissors and she's about to make the first cut. I'm like, but wait, not too short. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, Lisa, what? Figure it out, lady. Make a decision. But I'm pretty like relaxed about my hair. You know, it grows back, so it's not the end of the world. To me, if I get a bad haircut, I kind of get over it pretty quickly. Not that I would get a bad haircut from her because she's awesome, but you know what I mean. Like if I cut it and then regret it, I don't really like regret it too long. I just move on. It's just hair, people. It's just hair. Okay, so then I'm just gonna go over the foundation with this just to absorb any excess and just blend out any areas. I really like using a damp beauty blender just to like finish off my foundation. I feel like it really just presses the product into the skin and helps it look more natural. All right, so let's go ahead and set the foundation because these lights that I'm filming in are pretty hot and it's really humid out, so I already feel myself kind of getting a little moist, and that didn't sound good. I already feel myself getting a little hot, so I'm going to set my under eye and then I'm going to set my foundation. All right, I'm going to use the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder to set underneath my eyes, and I just grabbed this big brush because I couldn't find my smaller brush. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of it in the center of the face. I want to show you guys the IT Cosmetics CC Powder that I talked about. I'm going to use it on top of a foundation, which is not really how I use this product typically. I typically use this as a foundation, but I want to show you that you can use it as a setting powder if you want like extra coverage. Just be really light-handed because this is like a foundation, so if you put it, if you like sponge it on top of a foundation, it's basically like just layering foundation on top of foundation. I'm just gonna put a little bit really lightly over the foundation to kind of set it and just to give it a little bit more coverage. I did kind of shear that Makeup Forever stick out, so it wasn't like heavy full coverage. I do like this powder though. It's a really good powder. I really like that it has an SPF of 50 in it. At my age, I feel like at any age we all should be concerned about SPF, but now that I'm starting to see, you know, signs of aging and sun damage, I'm definitely concerned with making sure that I'm protected, my skin's protected every single day that I walk out of my door. All right, let's get some eyebrows on because my brows are looking a little sad. Okay, it's Friday night, so I'm allowing myself some wine. I've been doing really good though, you guys. I have been doing really well with working out and just eating. I mean, I eat pretty good overall, like normally. I'm not a big, like I feel like my diet's pretty good, but over the last couple of months, it just got a little out of control with everything that's going on in my life and just moving and changing job and stress and all kinds of stuff. So I was eating out a lot, eating fast food a lot, eating sweets a lot. Anyway, I've been really making a focused effort the last month to just kind of detox my body, just eat clean, drink less alcohol, eat less sugar, work out more, and like challenge myself in my workouts because I love exercising, I love working out. I go to work out every day that I can. But for a while I just got really comfortable and I would just go to the gym and do something that was very easy for me, and I never really left feeling like I had just had an intense workout. And you know, where I'm at in my age and just kind of my like fitness level, I really have to challenge myself to see changes. So anyway, I started doing a new cycling class. It's called Ride, and I started doing it through ClassPass, which I think I talked about in my October favorites video. But I started going to that and I'm obsessed with it. I love it. It is the best cardio workout and lower body cardio workout that I've ever done. It's amazing. It's like, it's cycling, but it's really awesome because the music is really good. They like have this like little light show. It feels like you're dancing in a club while you're on a bike. It's a lot of fun and it's a crazy good workout. I leave there just drenched in sweat and my legs are on fire. I can feel a difference already kind of in the way that my clothes are fitting. I'm trying not to get too caught up in the scale because I've seen like 1 or 2 pounds come off, but I haven't really seen a big difference in the scale. But I'm not gonna let that discourage me because I feel like I look better, you know, and I feel better. So I'm just gonna go with that. All right, let's go ahead and put some bronzer on my face so I have a little bit more dimension to my face. I'm gonna use the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula, and I'm gonna use this pretty fat MAC brush. This bronzer is pretty light and natural, so I'm not too concerned with applying too much because it's pretty natural and sheer that it's very forgiving if you do apply too much or apply it in the wrong place. And I'm just going to use this to warm my face up. I love the way this stuff smells. It smells so good. Even though it's like fall and we're in November, I love the smell of coconut. It reminds me of the beach in summertime. Alrighty, so in this palette, you guys, I'm gonna make, I mean, this look is so simple and easy, and it's actually, I actually kind of contemplated doing this tutorial because it's so basic and so simple, but I have to say that I love this look. Even though it's so simple and basic, I just love the depth of these colors and just the way that they look on the skin. I just feel like even though they're very basic colors that you already have in your collection, or you have something very similar to them, I just love the way that they come out in this palette. But we'll talk real quickly about this palette before we go into the look. So with the palette, it retails for $69, and you get 6 eyeshadows, you get a blush, a highlighter, and then you get a bronzer. I'll be honest, these shadows are not anything, oops, look at that, that's not, that could have been bad. You know, these shadows aren't anything super special. They are a great quality eyeshadow. Marc Jacobs has really great quality in my opinion. So the quality is definitely there. The shade range is pretty meh, you know, it's nothing like It's nothing that's like, you know, takes your breath away, but and honestly, these two shades are pretty similar. When I'm looking at them this closely, I can definitely tell a difference, but if you look at it from a bit of afar, they look very similar. This shade is like a really light golden highlight, and this shade has more like warmth to it, more melon to it. And then you have a really beautiful, just matte brown transition shade. I love the way this looks on the skin, but again, we all have something like this in our collection already. And then it has this really light matte, kind of like dusty lavender color, kind of mauve, dusty mauve color, very, very light. And then it has this deep purpley, like maroon shade here that has like super subtle flecks. It's not frosty, but it does have some flecks of shimmer in there. I don't really think you see it on the skin when you apply it though. It looks pretty matte. And then you have this black shadow with like copper red sparkles to it. So yeah, those are the shadows that it comes with. This blush though, I have to say, is absolutely beautiful. I love the way that this looks on my skin. And then it has a really nice matte bronzer that is pretty universal. And then it has this highlight shade too, which is also very, very beautiful. So I will show you guys a swatch of how this looks on my skin. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the shadow, the matte transition shade, this one here. And I'm using a really small crease brush. This is the MAC 221 brush. And I'm just gonna apply this right in my crease. Using this brush, because it's smaller and denser, you can already see how much color it pays off. I mean, that's crazy, you guys. That doesn't even look like a crease brush to me. It looks like I grabbed like a small shader brush. So I'm going to use that to apply this in the crease. I'm actually going to show you guys the difference of using a brush like this versus like a standard crease brush. I'll use a standard crease brush on the other eye so you can see the difference, and then I'll just go back and build it up to make it even. But look at that color. I mean, that's really intense payoff. I mean, that's beautiful. You cannot deny that these shadows are a really great quality. Yes, they are a high price point, but they're really great quality. It's not like you're spending a lot of money on crappy products. You know, you're spending a lot of money, but you're getting good products. But yes, I agree that the palette isn't super universal. I mean, it's pretty universal. I take that back. It's very universal, but it doesn't have a lot of shadows. There's not a whole lot to it for the price. So that is a little disappointing. It's kind of one of those purchases you have to just decide, like, you know, are you buying it thinking you're getting a great value, or are you just buying it because it's pretty, it's something collectible, you like it, you know that if you don't buy it and it's gone in 3 months, you're gonna regret it. That, for me, that's what drove my decision, was that emotional need, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna use the 224 brush by MAC to do the other side. I just wanna show you guys the difference in applying shadow with like a more of a smaller, dense brush versus like a fluffier brush. So that's the same eyeshadow applied on both eyes. The difference is the brush that I use. So obviously the smaller brush, you can tell how much more payoff I got, how much more concentration I got, how much more control I got versus this brush. Not to say that this one's better than this one, it's just a totally different look. So you have to figure out what kind of look you're going for, and then look at the brushes that you have and what's gonna help you achieve that look. I'm taking it over pretty far, like, I'm taking it pretty far, almost to like the side of the nose. This is just gonna kind of give it a little bit of like a sultry, kind of smoky look. If you ever notice Jennifer Lopez's eyeshadow, her makeup artist does this a lot. He always brings the eyeshadow, or she, I'm not sure who her makeup artist is now. I know for a while it was Scott Barnes. But anyway, I noticed that they always bring the eyeshadow over here a lot, and it just makes her eyes look so like sultry and sexy, and it's just beautiful. And you can do it, especially if you're using like a kind of a light to mid-tone shadow like this. It's not really that noticeable. It just changes the whole look of the eyeshadow. Okay, and then I am gonna bring it down a little bit too and connect it to my lash line. Okay, so for the eyelid, I'm gonna use, let's see, is this brush clean? For the eyelid, I'm gonna use the more of a melon kind of highlight shade here. And I'm just gonna load this up on a flat, stiff brush. This is the 213 by MAC. And I'm just gonna like, just literally plop this all over my eyelid. I'm telling you guys, there's nothing fancy or skillful about this look. I think it's just the shadows and the color of these shadows that I love the way that it looks. This shadow is beautiful. It's warm, it's peachy, it's still very bright. And I just love the shimmer on it. Like, it's just, very, very finely milled. The shimmer, there's not a lot of fallout, there's not a lot of chunky glitter. It's just very beautiful. I know Marc Jacobs does have the $99 palette out, which I guess is a better value because it's only, what, $20 more than this palette? No, it's $30 more than this palette. And, but it has 20 shadows. But I'm trying not to buy palettes like that for a while because, you know, I buy palettes like that and I only use a few of the shadows. I mean, I don't use more than half of them. I never use. So it's great that it comes with all of that, but I don't really use it. So what's the point, you know? With this, even though it comes with less, I use every single thing in here. So to me, this is more worth it in my opinion. But you know, hey, whatever, we're all different, right? We all want different things when we're shopping for makeup. And for my brow highlight, I'm going to use the lighter shade. Here, this little light one. This one's really, really pretty. And I'm just using a very small pencil brush by MAC. This is the 219. So this is going to give pretty intense payoff. And it's not really going to blend that well. So I'm actually going to come back with a crease brush and I'm going to just kind of diffuse that crease color a little bit more so that it's not like this hard edge to where I did the shadow. I love this color though. This reminds me a lot of Nylon from MAC. If you have that shade, such a pretty shade. This one reminds me a lot of that. It's almost like Nylon's twin. Okay, then I'm gonna take just that fluffy brush. I'm not gonna put any more product on it, but I'm just gonna soften the crease a little bit. For blush, this blush, you guys, is my newest obsession. I love the color of this blush. You guys know that I love peaches and pinks, and I'm really into matte blushes right now. And this shade is just so beautiful. It's so packed with color. So I actually like to use a fluffier, softer brush to apply it so that I don't apply too much. And I like this brush a lot. This is the 137 by MAC because even though it's big and fluffy, it's tapered really nicely. So you can really, like in this pan is pretty small for a blush. You can still have control of the brush and you don't get it mixed in with all the other colors. I love this color, you guys. It's so pretty. And I love this brush. I think this is the best blush brush right at the moment for me because it's very buildable. You know, if you want light color, you can get it. And if you want to build up a product, you can get that same effect versus like using more of a dense blush brush and going in and just having like this stamp of product that you're then trying to go back and correct. That's not gonna happen with this brush. Let's go ahead and do the lower lash line so I don't forget. For lower lashes, I am gonna put a liner down as a base. I'm using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Stash, which is like this sage olive kind of green. And I'm just gonna like do a thick line underneath my lower lash line with this guy. Then I'm going to take these two shadows, the purpley shadows, and I'm going to just smoke it out. So I'm going to start with the lighter one first, this one here. And we're just going to softly kind of smoke that out. The shadow's pretty light, so you can kind of get a little messy with it, and it's not going to ruin anything. This is just going to soften and diffuse that eyeliner a little bit. And then I'm going to go over that with the darker purple here. You guys, I'm sorry, I'm not so great at like holding the palette up and showing you. With this, I do need to be a little bit more controlled because this could make a mess. So I'm just gonna start on the outer part of my eye and just softly blend it in. Sorry, I'm looking down so much, I'll try and look up. This is a really neat and easy way to incorporate color into your makeup by doing it on the lower lash line. You can see that the top of my lid is very neutral, very, very simple, basic. And then on the lower lash line, even though this is a dark purple, it's not a crazy color, you could substitute this with anything you wanted. If you wanted to do like a bright green or a bright blue, anything really, you could just do it on the lower lash line, and it just is a simple way to just add some color, but still in a very wearable, easy way. For my inner waterline, I'm just going to use a brightening pencil. This is by Pacifica because it was the closest one to me, but any one that you have is just fine. Just make sure it's a soft pencil, so that you don't have to like go over it and irritate your eye. Okay, for mascara, I'm gonna use, what do we have here? We have some NARS Audacious Mascara. I just have a little sample of it here. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my lash extensions. I'm due for a fill on Monday. Today's Friday, so when I'm this close to a fill, I find the need to sometimes put mascara on just to kind of even them out, because there's some areas that have shed a little more than others. I really hope this video is not out of focus the entire time. I keep looking at the monitor and I see it out of focus, in focus, out of focus, in focus, and I know that's so annoying to watch. So if it is like that, you guys, I am so sorry. I apologize. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put a little mascara on my lower lashes. This is a ColourPop Lippie stick in the shade Westie. I've had these for a while, but I haven't played with them in a while. It's just a really pretty, kind of like bubblegum pink. Let's hope it works well. They're so soft and creamy still. I've had this probably for over a year now, and I haven't used it recently. You know, sometimes when you have lipsticks for that length of time and you don't use them, they tend to get hard. This one's not. It's still very soft and very creamy. I'm impressed. These are nice because they're super pigmented. They have a nice tip to them, so you can really kind of shape your lip with them, so you don't need a lip liner. I'm gonna put this gloss by Givency on, and it's in the shade 1, I think, just number 1. Pretty gloss. I bought this and I was obsessed with it when I first bought it. I wear it all the time, and then I just kind of put it aside because I started buying all this other stuff, and I just rediscovered it today. Okay, and is that it, you guys? I think that's it. Let's take my hair down. Oh my gosh, I seriously love this makeup. You guys, it's so simple. It is so simple and so easy and so wearable for anyone. I mean, but I think it's beautiful. I think it's really, really pretty. I mean, I didn't do much on the eyes, but I just like the way that it came out. I like it with this color, this lip color. Let's put a little bit of this highlight on my cheeks, and then we'll be done. Then we'll be done. Here, I'm gonna pop that. I don't know about that. Yeah, it's working. Maybe try my finger. Okay, so this highlight, you might need a little bit more of a stiffer brush to pick it up. It's not super, like, it doesn't come up real easily on this brush. But there you have it, you guys. I hope you liked this makeup tutorial. I love this. I feel like this is a super easy, everyday look, but it's glamorous. You know, it's simple and easy, but it still has enough glamour, in my opinion, to feel glamorous and feel beautiful. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The VIB sale for Sephora is going on right now. I'm sure you guys know that. I'm gonna put all the information in the description box below, the dates, but if you're VIB Rouge, it's actually started today, and I think it goes through the 11th. I'm not quite sure. And then after that is when regular VIBs get the sale, and it's 20% off. I believe it's your entire purchase. So I'm gonna leave a link for that below, and I will link all the products that I use, of course, below, and leave your comments and your questions down in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.